Coming up on the Angus Report, the new year brings new requirements for certain feed-grade antibiotics.
Considerations when deciding to raise or buy replacement females.
A response to a confirmed brucellosis case in western Montana.
How the U.S. beef industry can remain a leader on the global stage, and make plans to head to Denver, Colorado this January for Angus events at the National Western Stock Show.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. While we turn the corner into 2017, cattlemen should be prepared for the Veterinary Feed Directive, or VFD rule, that becomes effective January 1st. The VFD requires a written prescription by a licensed veterinarian for certain feed-grade antibiotics defined as medically important. Producers might have already noticed changes to product labels, and the people who use the antibiotics are required to have a valid veterinary-client relationship formed and written VFD on file beginning January 1st. Kansas veterinarian Randall Spare explains what cattlemen should expect from the new requirements.
A producer wants to use tetracycline in his feed is going to have a prescription, if you will, saying this is how you can use this product. What they'll have to do is come to us as a veterinarian. We'll write a prescription, we'll hand it to them, and then that same prescription will go to the feed mill that they want to purchase that product. Then they'll take that product home and use it in a very specific manner on a specific group of cattle that we've written that prescription for, or Veterinary Feed Directive. Each group, the veterinarian, the producer, and the feed miller is going to have to store that prescription for a period of 2 years. And what it's going to do is it's going to create more accountability on how antibiotics are used in livestock production. The consumer is asking us to be accountable for those things. Let's do everything we can to prevent from even having to use antibiotics, which means good animal husbandry.
For more information on the Veterinary Feed Directive, visit Kansas State University's Beef Cattle Institute online at beefcattleinstitute.org. And there you'll find a large collection of articles, videos, and more to prepare for the 2017 requirements.
The nation's beef supply increased to historic levels during the month of October, at the highest level since 1915, according to a recent USDA report. Beef in cold storage increased 4.6% from the year before, and total frozen red meat stocks increased by 1%, a figure that USDA says is the most on record for the month of October. This after a report released by the U.S. Meat Export Federation that showed September beef exports in at 27% above year-ago volumes and 17% higher on a value basis. For the first 3 quarters of 2016, however, export value remains down 5% from a year ago. Beef exports accounted for 13.5% of total beef production from January through September, up slightly compared to the same time period. Contributors to the September spike were led by a 49% year-over-year growth in Japan and a 75% jump in South Korea. Japan's imports of U.S. chilled beef surpassed chilled imports from Australia for the first time ever in September, and based on preliminary October data, Korea's total beef imports from the United States also topped Australian beef. Phil Singh with USMEF noted that while the upward trend in export volume is encouraging, it's also critical that exports continue to contribute to carcass value and to deliver returns for the entire supply chain.
One of the most important economic decisions a cow-calf producer can make is whether to raise or buy replacement females. That's according to an ag economist, Lee Schultz with Iowa State University, who says prices for heifer calves plummeted from as high as $225 per hundredweight a couple of years ago to $100 per hundredweight in fall 2016. Understanding how market factors might influence your breeding program is an important consideration when making the call on replacement females.
When you look at just the pure buy versus raise, there's a lot of decisions within that. If I want to grow my herd faster, maybe buying more or raising some and buying some. But also I think when you look at the available resources, what are you really set up to do? What is your comparative advantage as an operation? It may be actually buying them on the open market, but also maybe raising them within your own herd. So I think it's very much aligning those resources with your individual operation and putting it where I'm going to really maximize the most value and see the most profitability.
Visit iowabeefcenter.org for resources that can help when developing a heifer plan for your operation.
In an area near Yellowstone National Park in western Montana, 2 bulls recently tested positive for brucellosis. a disease that is known to cause abortions in infected cows. The bulls were located on a ranch within a designated surveillance area in Beaverhead County and tested positive during a whole herd test, according to local media reports. Remaining ranch livestock tested negative for brucellosis. The disease is tightly monitored in the region, and elk are considered the likely source of the livestock infections. This is the 8th case of a brucellosis-affected herd since the state established the surveillance areas 6 years ago.
Each year in January, the National Western Stock Show in Denver, Colorado welcomes thousands of visitors to the base of the Rocky Mountains. The National Western is a long-held tradition in the Angus business. And this year, the American Angus Association is proud to host a new evening event to celebrate a century of Angus in the West. On January 11th, the event will feature the National Western Angus Bull Sale, the Angus Foundation Heifer Package, and much more.
This year, a brand new event held in the historic Stadium Arena, a combination of the National Western Angus Bull Sale. In addition to that, a fundraiser for the Angus Foundation for Education, Youth, and Research. We'll be offering the 2017 Angus Foundation Heifer that's being donated by Doug and Sharon Stevenson of Basin Angus Ranch, Joliet, Montana. It's an event that you will not want to miss. We look forward to seeing you in Denver.
The Angus in the West event is sponsored by Marielle, and you can learn more about what's planned online at angus.org. We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Cattle producers are invited to gather for a cattlemen's boot camp in Lexington, Kentucky, February 17th and 18th. The event is hosted by the American Angus Association in partnership with the University of Kentucky and provides purebred and commercial producers with timely information presented by association staff and academic and industry professionals. Registration is now available online at angus.org and will remain open until January 16th. Angus cowboy Matt Reeves proudly represented the American Angus Association while competing in the recent National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Reeves was among the steer wrestling contestants and this year marked his 6th appearance at the NFR. He and his family raise Angus-sired calves near Cross Plains, Texas. We shared updates from Reeves on Angus social media, and we'll catch up with him again next week here on the Angus Report. And 'tis the season for holiday shopping, so if you're looking for a gift for your favorite Angus enthusiast, we'd invite you to stop by the online store at angus.org or the American Angus Auxiliary's Angus Gift Barn. Both offer fantastic gift-giving options from clothing to jewelry, home decor, and Angus collectibles. Visit angus.org and follow the links to finish up your Christmas shopping. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
When we return, how the North American beef industry can remain competitive in the years ahead.
Then we travel to the Stadium Arena at the National Western Stock Show in Denver, Colorado with our friend Dan Green.
Visit angus.media to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the makers of Safeguard Cattle Dewormer. Healthy cattle perform better. Add Safeguard, add pounds. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
This isn't a 9-to-5 job. So when you check the pants one last time, put away the tools, and make sure everything's ready to hand off to the night crew. It's not the clock that tells you the day is over. It's the confidence of knowing you got it right. It's having one less thing to worry about when the sun goes down. So when you see the signs of BRD, choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health. Talk to your veterinarian about Zuprevo for BRD treatment.
Here we go. Here's the activity project. He's got the right down again. 72.5. 72.5. He's up for the yard line. He's 67.5. 67.5. 65. 67. Sold though.
The
National Western Angus Bull Sale, an evening of celebrating a century of Angus in the West. Join us Wednesday, January 11th in the historic Stadium Arena. The show's at 8 a.m. The sale begins promptly at 5 p.m. Post-sale live entertainment with Jake Hooker and the Outsiders.
44 Farms is a registered Angus breeder. In Central Texas, we market about 1,600 bulls a year. The silencer is vital to our operation. The neck bars on the silencer chute are excellent for restraining the bulls for giving shots. Those big bulls get to swinging their head around and it's really hard to hold them. And those neck bars work excellent. We've had it for 7 years and it's been great the whole time. So at the end of the day, there's less stress and you're happier and the cattle are happier. It just makes for a better work environment.
Good cattle, good people, a focus on customer service. McCabe Genetics of Elk City, Kansas is proud to offer 200 Angus and 50 Hereford bulls for sale private treaty this fall. Developed under real-world conditions, the bulls are 18 to 24 months of age and ready to go to work. Free delivery and satisfaction guaranteed. McCabe Genetics. Learn more at McCabeGenetics.com or call us at 620-332-4244. That's 620-332-4244. Beef quality is everyone's responsibility, including yours. That's why the Checkoff-funded Beef Quality Assurance Program is key to your future. BQA, empowering people because you can make a difference. Taking responsibility because it's our job, not someone else's. Working together because product safety and wholesomeness is everyone's business. Find out more at bqa.org.